I Am Manifestation.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the I Am Podcast, where your voice matters. With or without the rock in her hand, today's guest can best be described as a beast. Let's get it lit and make some noise for McKinzie Green!
Hi, my name is McKinzie Green, and my story is called Manifestation. I hope you guys like it. Once upon a time, there was a girl named Monica Brown. She loved the game of basketball. She started playing in the 2nd grade and has loved it ever since. Once Monica started playing, she knew that she had to start watching more basketball. Her favorite female basketball player was Maya Moore. She loved watching Maya play. Maya was the main reason Monica wanted to play college basketball. And once Maya got to the league, Monica wanted to play in the WNBA, just like Maya Moore. Monica's favorite player of all time was Kobe Bryant. Monica became a fan of Kobe since the first time she ever watched him play. She loved the way he played, his competitive fire, and his love for the game. Kobe was the reason Monica wanted to work even harder and become a great basketball player. Once Monica got in the 4th grade, she met this trainer at a Little League football game, and he talked about how great of a trainer he was. So Monica and her parents decided that she should go work out with him. At first, the workouts were a little hard for Monica because she never had a real trainer for basketball before. But she stuck it out because she knew that she needed the trainer in order to get better and improve her ball handling skills. Because she knew she was going to have to handle the ball on the string and she was going to be a point guard. Monica started improving tremendously, and everybody could see that her hard work was paying off. So about after a year of working out with her trainer, Coach Dan, Monica decided to go try out for an AAU team. The team didn't have a 5th grade team. They only had teams 13U and up. Monica wanted to go ahead and try out for the 7th grade team. She killed it at tryouts, and the coaches and the people that ran the organization were very impressed with Monica. After Monica found out she made the team a couple of days later, she was so happy. Her parents were proud of her, and she told her trainer, and he was so happy for her. Once the AAU season started, Monica played in tournaments on the weekends, and she was killing it. She was having fun with her teammates and playing great basketball against kids that were older than her. She was starting to love the game more and more, and with Monica playing against kids older than her and playing well, it made her realize that she could really turn her dreams into reality by playing in college and then going to the WNBA. But she knew it was going to be a long road of hard work and perseverance for her to get there, and then she was going to have to work 10 times harder once she got to college and then to the WNBA. She started working even harder, and then she was in the 8th grade, and she went to this John Lucas camp called the 60-60. Monica wanted everybody to know who she was by the time that camp was over, especially the man who was running the camp, John Lucas. Monica killed it at the camp, and John Lucas finally learned her name after she had been going to work out with him for a year now, and ever since then, he has never forgotten Monica's name. Monica did a great job at the camp, and everybody was talking about her. But she didn't realize how much her life was about to change yet. Monica decided to play for a 16U team while she was in the 8th grade. This AAU team she was playing for now traveled a lot, and in April they went to one of the biggest tournaments in the country. Monica played some great basketball at this tournament, and this was the first time Monica had played in front of a lot of college coaches. And that's when she noticed her life was changing. She was starting to get recruited by colleges. A couple of days after the tournament was over, Monica received a lot of mail from colleges, and she was so excited. She loved reading all the letters from all these different universities saying how much they were interested in her. But Monica wanted more than interest. She wanted offers. As her 8th grade AAU season was rolling by, Monica was playing well, and towards the end of the AAU season, her AAU coach told her that South Carolina called about her, and they were going to come watch her play. Monica was so happy. She didn't know what to do. They only had one tournament left, and every game Monica had, she was looking for one of the South Carolina coaches. But none of them were at any of the games. Monica was crushed. She was so anxious for South Carolina to watch her play, but Monica knew that she had to keep working hard in order to get some offers. Now, it was time for high school. Monica was the only underclassman with a whole lot of seniors on varsity. But Monica didn't let that stop her. She was the starting point guard, and she made an impact on that team. She got multiple accolades her freshman season, but Monica knew she could do better. She had a lot to prove. So now it was time for AAU, and Monica and her parents decided that it was best for Monica to play for this team out of Dallas. That could get her even more exposure since they play on the EYBL circuit. So this would definitely be a great move for Monica. Before July started, which was the best month for AAU, everybody goes to camps during June. Monica's AAU coach told her that South Carolina called about her and wanted her to come to the camp. Monica was happy when she heard that news, so she definitely had to go to the South Carolina camp. Monica wanted to go there and have a great showing at the camp. Monica got to the camp and she did a great job. Almost every station or scrimmage she was playing in, one of the South Carolina coaches were watching her. After the camp was over, Monica started getting pictures with some of the players, and then the associate head coach came up to her and was talking about how much the head coach wanted to talk to her. So the head coach came and started talking to Monica, her parents, and her little brother. They were having a great conversation, laughing and joking around. Then the head coach said, "I want to offer you a scholarship." Monica thought she was dreaming. She asked the head coach if she could repeat that again, and she said, "I want to offer you a scholarship." Monica was so happy. She couldn't believe that this was real. She told the head coach, "Thank you so much." Monica was thrilled that it finally happened. She got her first offer. The next day, she got another offer. And then a week later, she went to another camp and she got another offer. Then July came, and Monica did well, but she knew she was going to have to do better in order to get more offers. Now it was time for sophomore year of high school, and Monica had a good season. She got even more accolades, and a lot of people knew her name. She was making a name for herself, and she scored her 1,000th point during her sophomore year. Now it was AAU time, and Monica was playing for a team out of San Antonio now. She went to some camps in June and got some offers, but July was a good time for Monica. Her team was in the championship game in the Heart of Texas tournament. Monica had already got an offer from Texas A&M during this tournament. The head coach for Texas A&M was at the championship game, and her team was down by 22 at the half. Monica had hit a 3 to end the first half, and when she came in during the second half, she caught fire. Monica hit 3 threes in a row, had a couple of layups, and an and-one. Her team was backing it just like that. The crowd was going crazy. Her team ended up winning the game with one of her teammates hitting the game winner. Everybody was talking about Monica's performance, and she felt good. Monica ended the summer with some more offers, and now it was time for junior year. Monica was getting a lot of attention, and she was playing very well. She had college coaches at a lot of her high school games, and it was almost getting to the time for her to make her decision. Her junior year was over. She had a great season, and now it was time for her last season of AAU. She was doing good, and it was the break period for AAU. It was the middle of July. She decided it was time for her to make her college decision. She called the head coach of Texas A&M and said that she was committing to A&M. He was so happy, and so was everybody else. It was a great moment. Then Monica finished out the rest of her AAU season, and now it was time for senior year. Monica had a great senior year, even though she was 200 points shy of getting to 3,000 points. But now she was ready for college. Monica got to A&M during the summer, did summer workouts and summer school. Now it was time for preseason and to get ready for the season to begin. Preseason was a lot of conditioning and getting used to college basketball as a freshman. With Monica being on the freshman, it was a little tough for her because she wasn't with anybody in the same situation as her. She had to get used to it. Now it's time for the season. A&M was winning games, but Monica wasn't playing. She had never been in this predicament before. She never knew what it felt like to sit down and never play. She was used to being the star and having everybody come to watch her play. But when Monica did get opportunities to play, she proved that she should be playing more. But that never happened. Monica didn't know what to do. She just kept working hard and putting in a lot of time in the gym. But she still kept seeing the same little minutes that she got to get in, if she got to get in the games. After the season was over, Monica knew that she never wanted to be in that same situation again. So she worked her butt off in the summer. She wanted to come back better than ever, and she did. Monica was a starting point guard her sophomore year, and she turned into a vocal leader, and she was killing it on the court. People were saying that she was the best point guard in the country as a sophomore. She received accolades her sophomore year, including the Nancy Lieberman Award, and she was on the AP and WBCA All-American team, and she was All-SEC first team. Monica and her team won national championships her junior and senior year, and she also won the Nancy Lieberman Award 2 more times, and she won the Drysdale Award her junior and senior year as well, and was SEC MVP her junior and senior year. Monica had been known as the best point guard in the country since her sophomore year, and now it was time for her to go to the WNBA. Monica was the first overall draft pick. She went to the Minnesota Lynx, and she had an outstanding career. She was the Rookie of the Year, 14-time WNBA All-Star, 5-time WNBA MVP, 5-time WNBA champ, 5-time Finals MVP, 3-time Olympic gold medalist, and she was a Hall of Famer. Monica didn't let anything get in the way of her turning her dreams into a reality. She didn't let not getting to play her freshman year keep her from dreaming big. She knew that everything happened for a reason, and now she's living her dreams out. Currently, she's a sport analyst for ESPN, making great money. Monica knew that manifestation was real, and it happened to her. She spoke all of these things into reality, and she put in the work. She knew God was with her the whole time. The end. I hope you guys enjoy my story. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to the I Am Podcast, brought to you by Extreme Heat Sports and Fat Bars Records and Multimedia. We'll be back soon with another inspiring story from the voices of today. See you soon.